What is going on, guys? My name is BlueZombie71 and I am here with a brand new video. In this one, I'm going to be going over the entire Uncharted story in chronological order and the events of the characters' lives. I have found a lot of videos on the internet about the story in terms of gameplay moments, but not in order. I'm going to use the games for reference and the Wikia timeline page for this information. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this Uncharted video, and let's get right into it. Our first significant date in our characters' lives is in 1951 when Victor Sullivan is born in the United States of America. He joins the Navy early in his life before meeting the other characters. Our next date is 1971, where Sam Drake is born in the United States to Cassandra Morgan and an unnamed father. In 1976, Nathan is born 5 years after Sam to the same parents in the USA. In 1981, Sam is 10 and Nate is 5 when their mother Cassandra commits suicide and their father surrenders the two boys to the St. Francis Boys Home in the USA, where Sam and Nathan are raised. Elena is born in 1984 in Florida, USA. At an unknown year between 1981 and 1989 is when the first mission of Uncharted 4 takes place, Lore for Adventure, and the 16th mission, The Brothers Drake, where Sam helps Nate break out of the orphanage and go to the house of their mother's former employer to show Nathan their mother's old works. As Evelyn, the old woman, dies, the two boys become suspects in a murder and have to flee getting caught by police. After this, Sam's location is unknown and Nathan ends up in Colombia in 1990. Nathan successfully steals Francis Drake's ring from a museum, but is then chased by Catherine Marlowe's men, Catherine being a client of Sully. After a chase through the city, Sully shoots one of the guards and saves Nate, taking him to a place to eat and get to know each other. This marks when Nate and Sully become friends. In 1990 or 1991, Nate ends up in prison in Peru, but is bailed out by Sullivan. In the year 2000, Nate, Sam, and Rafe Adler, an old friend of Nate's, break into a prison in Panama and pay off a prison guard to help them access a ruin nearby. Nate ends up finding an empty cross in the tower, and Nate and Sam and Rafe have to talk. They are walked in on by the guy beating Nate up in the courtyard earlier, and the guards have to come in to stop it. Vargas, the main guard, then talks to the three and says he is very mad that Nate and Sam and Rafe tried to cut him out of the deal. The argument escalates and Rafe ends up killing the warden. The three then must escape the prison, but Sam is shot and taken back to his cell after Nate and Rafe escape. Nathan is obviously very upset about Sam's air quote death and tries to get over it the best he can. Sometime between 2001 and 2006 is when it is believed that Nate and Sully meet Chloe Frazier, a big character in the second and third games. Uncharted Golden Abyss takes place in 2005. In 2006, Nathan Drake is looking for the lost city of El Dorado and meets Elena Fisher for the first time. Nathan and Elena find Francis Drake's coffin out in the ocean. They open it up and find no body, but the journal of Francis Drake's findings. The two get ambushed by pirates, and then Sully helps them escape. Later, Nate and Sully are looking in the Amazon for ruins leading to El Dorado, but to find that it is a statue, not a city. They find a German U-boat and find a map leading to the statue. Nate and Sully get ambushed by Etok Navarro and Gabriel Roman, the two main antagonists of the game, and shoot Sully. Elena finds Nate and is mad at him for ditching her. After Nate and Elena talk about Francis Drake's ring and the history behind it, they find that Sully is not dead, that the bullet hit the journal, saving Sully's life. They find the treasure vault but don't find the statue, just Francis Drake's corpse. Elena is then captured by Navarro and needs to be saved. Navarro, Roman, Nate, Sully, and Elena all meet and eventually find the statue. Navarro then tells Roman to open the statue, that it was cursed by a zombie virus, and Roman gets infected, but Navarro shoots him dead. Nate and Navarro are then in a fight where Navarro is tied to the statue and they are dropped to the bottom of the ocean. Nate, Sully, and Elena escape. In 2009, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves takes place, where an old friend of Nate's, Harry Flynn, tells him that he should join him and Chloe on a raid of a museum in Istanbul, Turkey, to find a lamp owned by Marco Polo that helps show the way to the city of Shambhala, containing the very valuable Chintamani stone. In the museum, Flynn gets Nate caught and serves 3 months in jail until Sullivan breaks him out. They are able to get to a camp in Borneo owned by Zoran Lazarevic, a Serbian war criminal and the main antagonist of the game, and reads his notes about finding Shambhala. In a tomb, Nate finds a dagger that is supposed to help them find the lost city. Chloe plays a double agent role when Lazarevic and Flynn arrive and helps Nate and Sully escape. Nate and Chloe meet in Nepal and finds Lazarevich tearing the city apart to find Shambhala. They run into Elena and her cameraman Jeff, who joins them in finding the treasure. They find a temple and find a clue that points the search to the Himalayas to find the stone. Lazarevich finds the four after chasing them, and he executes Jeff. Chloe then plays double agent again and helps Nate and Elena escape. Nate and Elena follow Lazarevich's train to find Chloe, but when he finds her, she tells him that she does not want to be saved. Nate is then shot. The only thing he is left to do is to shoot a propane tank, sending his part of the train off the cliff. The prologue mission is right after this, getting off the train, but then shortly passes out after. He is rescued and later taken to a Tibetan village where he meets the leader Tenzin. They go to the ice caves to find clues, but find Schaefer's dead men who were looking for the stone during World War II, but Schaefer killed them. Elena and Drake look for Schaefer after the village is attacked, but he is taken by Lazarevich, and they try to find him, but they do find him, but it is too late. Shambhala is found by Lazarevich and found by Nate and Elena, but Lazarevich is right behind them. He makes Nate choose between Chloe and Elena, but he just says that he will do what he wants. After the doors to the city are found, some of the Guardians attack Lazarevich's army and the protagonists escape. They discover that the Chintamani stone does not exist, it is simply resin from the Tree of Life. They encounter Flynn, who blows himself up and severely injures Elena. Nathan finds Lazarevich and lets the Guardians finish him off, and him and the two girls escape the city. Nathan and Elena then marry after the events of the game. Between Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, Drake and Elena separate, and Elena is stationed in Yemen. 2010 is when Uncharted 3 starts in a pub in London. A deal was set between Sully, Nate, and Talbot to sell Francis Drake's ring. Talbot tries to pay with counterfeit money, and Talbot's men attack Nate and Sully. When outside, Charlie Cutter pretends to shoot Sully and Drake, and Marlowe and Talbot leave. When they leave, Cutter is revealed to be on their side. They find a new map that points to the Atlantis of the Sands. They follow clues to help find Ubar. Sully and Nate go to France, and Cutter and Chloe go to Syria. After the four meet up in Syria, Cutter is shot by a hallucinogenic dart that Talbot shot him with and gives him the journal. Cutter is then later trapped on top of a tower where he's forced to jump off, breaking his leg. Him and Chloe are out for the rest of the game. Drake and Sully use Elena to get into Yemen to find the city. Then Nate is shot by a dart and tells Marlowe everything. They then kidnap Sully and plan to kill Nate. However, the guy in charge of killing Nate, Ramses, tries to get Nate to tell him where Ubar is. Nathan then escapes his ship and finds Elena back in Yemen. They chase a cargo plane and Nathan manages to get on board. The plane crashes and Drake is stranded in the Rub al Khali desert. After wandering around for days, he finds a town and is attacked by Talbot. Luckily, the head of a local tribe, Salim, finds him and rescues Nate. He helps Nate find Sully and Nate and Sully find Nate and Sully find Aram of the Pillars. After drinking the water from the city, Nate begins to hallucinate and thinks Sully is dead. After Nate recovers, he destroys the water, kills Marlowe and Talbot, and destroys the city. After the game, Elena and Nathan get back together. During 2011 to 2014, Nathan is retired from his life of searching for treasure and is working for Jameson Marine. During this time, Rafe breaks Sam out of the Panamanian prison, and they look for the other St. Dismas cross. Nathan and Elena have settled down in New Orleans, Louisiana. It's basically said outside of his work. That's how we know that. When Sam shows up and the two reunite, Sam tells Nate that he needs $400 million to pay Hector Alcazar after breaking him out of jail. They head to an auction in Italy to hopefully retrieve the cross. They then escape the auction and head to Scotland to look for Henry Avery's grave. Then they find the clues that point to Madagascar, and they search all of the towers of Kings Bay for Avery's sigil. Sam is then chased by Rafe's army and Nate saves him. Elena shows up and is very mad at Nate, who thinks he is in Malaysia for work. She then leaves him and returns to the US. Sam and Nate head to an island to look for more clues and find themselves separated on the island Libertalia is located on. They get reunited and find Libertalia only to find all the treasure gone. They then find Avery's house in New Devon, and after almost getting killed by Rafe's army, Nate, Sam, Sully, and Elena decide to go home. Sam then tells Nathan he has to find the treasure and runs off. Of course, Nathan runs after him and finds him and Rafe aboard Avery's ship. Nate and Rafe sword fight until Rafe is killed and Nate and Sam escape. Sam and Sully go off on their own adventures while Nate and Elena settle down with their daughter Cassie. She is interested in Nate and Elena's past adventures, and Nate explains everything to her, and they live happily ever after. And there you have it. That is basically the entire Uncharted storyline right there. I wanted to make this video because I love the Uncharted series, and a lot of the time the videos on the internet weren't in chronological order, so I wanted to put all the facts together. And yeah, this was a pretty long script for me to write, so yeah, I basically hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't check out my stream, my update I did the other day, you can go ahead and check that out if you want to know what's going on upcoming with me. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, and I will see you in the next video.